Islam.
So it sounds like you guys want us to kind of go back to the basics, like learn Quran and like understand that.
Sure.
But from a Dawah perspective, in our universities, there's a lot of, like in our times, there's a lot of questions about more complex subjects that we need to understand. So how would you like advise us on going about learning about those subjects and still?
You want to say something about that?
I mean, I would, and this was what Brother Nouman said about bringing scholars and putting them on the hot seat in that regard. You do have to have, I mean, Islamic scholars addressing issues that require scholars addressing them. And, you know, one of the things, for example, the whole Sharia issue, which has been completely blown out of proportion. And, you know, it's not that we're going to go online and find an article that we like that addresses the issue in the way that would make it easiest for us to answer, but rather we're going to try to see where there is, what Islamic scholars say about it. Going to the reputable, you know, Muslim organizations and scholarly councils and those types of things, inviting those speakers, and this is, instead of gender relations, I think this is something that I found, alhamdulillah, very effective this year, inviting speakers to talk about Islamophobia, inviting speakers to answer those questions about Sharia and those types of things, rather than trying to answer them yourselves because you read one article that you liked, you know, that addressed the issue in an apologetic way, so it didn't put you in such an awkward state. So putting imams and scholars and people that are qualified to do that in that situation, inviting them to your MSAs, regardless of whether, and subhanAllah, one of the things that really bothers me is like, regardless of whether you agree with some issues with them on jurisprudence or not, you know, you disagree with them on some issues and those types of things, but at least you agree with them on those issues, the core issues, the issue that's at hand. It's very effective to bring those people to your universities, to your MSAs, and to do that, and to learn from them, you know, the meaning of those things. I mean, there is no, yes, you have to go back to basics, but there is no replacement for getting yourself educated also as to what these things mean. And there's a wealth of information about these topics on the internet.
You bring up a really heavy point. That's been something's bothering me for a long time. The foundation of our belief is being challenged on campus. We're, you know, atheists, agnostics, Christians, Jews, you name it. They're compiling a wealth of alleged contradictions and you know, statements of barbarism, what have you, from Islam, and they're just shoving them in our face. Last year's ISNA convention, there was a guy outside who was handing out pamphlets that said Bismillah ar-Rahman ar-Rahim on the cover, and when you open it, it was contradictions in the Quran, quoting Tabari, Qurtubi, Ibn Kathir rahimahumullah, and all these Mufassirun on one ayah, and it's a list of contradictions, and at the end of it, it calls people to Christianity. But it doesn't call to Christianity first, it shows people how much contradiction there is in the Quran, and then calls them to it, with a very academic format, right? So that challenge does exist. You know, the scary thing about this is that a good chunk of our speakers and scholars don't even know that challenge exists, because they're in the masjid, they're not on campus. And they don't go to the kafir website and find out what the mushrikun are saying. And their idea of what the kuffar say is basically what Allah told us they say back in Quraysh times. You know, وَيَقُولُونَ مَتَى هَذَا الْوَعْدُ إِن كُنْتُمْ صَادِقِينَ. That's all they know. They say, when is the time coming if you're truthful? That's all they know. They don't know Richard Dawkins. They don't even know, except for like here and there in passing, they don't know who Freud is. They don't know. They don't know what Darwin is. They have no idea. They don't know what positive and negative atheism are. They have no clue. You guys take these courses, you know this stuff. And even when they come and present Aqidah to you, a lot of times they'll be discussing issues in theology that existed 4, 5, 6 centuries ago, but the modern issues in theology, the challenges to theology now, the things that rattle your faith after you take an anthropology class, after you take an evolutionary biology class, after you take a couple of philosophy courses, modern philosophy courses, postmodernism courses, religion and society courses, the stuff that starts messing with your head, man, where are we going to find the answer? That's why we need people like Sheikh Yasir Qadi, the scholar and academic. You know, these people are a commodity. They're seriously a commodity, because the ulama of riwayah, the ulama of text, they're not necessarily equipped to deal with this stuff. And a lot of times we bring them to answer those questions and they're stumped. And when they're stumped, we feel like, oh, well, Islam doesn't have an answer. Islam does. It's just that these people, that's not their job. They were trained for something entirely different. They were trained to serve a believing community. That's what their institution trained them to do. They were not trained to deal with intellectual onslaughts that are coming against Islam. That's not what their training was. you know.
Can I mention one more thing, if you don't mind, just really quick, inshallah ta'ala, also? We have to understand what Brother Nouman is talking about is a very serious issue, and we have to deal with it. And yes, we have to be able to produce our own academics, from our community who can respond to these heavy loaded arguments. For the vast majority of people, though, on campus, and the vast majority of people that have Islamophobic tendencies, you have to understand that. Something that Glenn Beck, Rush Limbaugh, and Sean Hannity what do they all share in common? Does anybody tell me? Other than being idiots. Not a single one of them has a college degree.
What?
I studied that. I was shocked. I know. Not a single one of them lasted in college for more than a year. So people are not going to them because they're professors in anthropology and professors in political science and they can offer their expertise. No, they go to them because they tell them what they want to hear. So the first thing, and this is something that I found very effective, at least when answering questions on Islamophobia, is call to question the credibility of those who are attacking Islam and attacking Sharia and the media in that regard.
Okay.
And yeah, you're here. What's up?
You need to go have dinner.
All right, let's go eat.
Wait, now that you're I just have one question I want to ask.
Absolutely not.
Not just to you, I mean, it's all of you.
Okay, that makes it even more no.
And in about a minute, how would you explain to an atheist why you believe in one God?
Wow. Yes.
I think you might as well take a seat.
I am illegally parked outside. Can we go?
Wait, no second.
Why am
No,
I not
no,
supposed
that's your problem.
How would I explain to why would I explain to an atheist? I don't need to explain anything to anybody. He has to explain to me why he doesn't believe in God. I'm on the burden of proof.
No?
Yeah.
Law school.
Sorry, it is law school. It's rhetoric. Prove to me God exists? No, you prove to me he doesn't. You're coming to me? I come to you.
And you're in the minority.
Yeah.
But I mean, there's a deeper. We could talk about that outside.
But I think we should end here.
Can I just get one more? It's kind of
Look up Kevin McAbin.